What is going on, everyone? Sin War here. Today we have an archer tier list. Just the basics for this tier list. It's gonna be a little weird, but if you actually watch the video, you'll understand me. But like, if you just like skip and like you look at the end tier list, you'll be like, "Whoa, what the fuck is this?" You know. But how this tier list is gonna work is I'm gonna obviously do the pairings, the best pairings in S tier, the worst pairings in F tier or D tier, and then I'm gonna throw in some like random like good marches you can use in other pairings, and they work just fine. They'll be like in the middle pack though. But getting into the tier list, here's how it's going to work, obviously. Starting off with Guan. Guan is a D tier, and I'll explain why. I think Guan is amazing for people who just start the game and want to download it. So if like you're a brand new player, Guan's an S tier pick for you. But the second you hit season like SOS or whatever it's called, the end season, she instantly becomes a D tier because it's just way better marches. To start with her, I think the best start with her would be like Kanara. If you can get Kanara, if you can't get Kanara, Guan Nico is amazing. But let's say you're like really brand new, Guan Craig is just fine. You know, but overall, Guan's kind of a D2 hero compared to the rest, and I'll explain. You'll understand why later. But moving on to the next one, obviously Craig. I think Craig's the same, just a D tier hero. Craig is very good with flyers. So if you're looking at this as a Wilderberg player and you're like, hey, I need flyers, Craig is an A tier pick. Absolutely amazing. Pairing this person with literally her, top tier pick for early game, not a bad pick at all. But if we're just going off Craig alone, he's kind of a D tier. He's in that same boat where like he's not really good. He's only good when you're using with flyers in niche situations. So overall, he's a D tier hero. He's a great starting hero, but like once you hit again season SOS, it's just he's not really that good. Moving on. Oh boy, this one kind of hurts me. Synron Fragar. I'm gonna put these two together and I'll explain why. Synron Fragar, dude. This march hurts me. I love Synron Fragar. When they first came out, bro, they were amazing. Yeah, they got power crept a lot. If this was 2 years ago, I would honestly say they're an A tier. 2 years ago. They're still a solid choice, but I'm gonna be honest, if you have all the archers already, you're benching Synron Fragar. You're just benching them. They're like a 6th march, maybe. They're not your 5th. They're not your... Maybe even 7th. I'll be honest. Maybe even 7th march. But Synron Fragar, they're very good early game. They fall off super fast once you hit season SOS. Because the second you start hitting tanks, bro, this is a glass cannon march and it dies very fast. So you need a lot of healing to keep this march up. Which means you're taking a lot of sevs just for average merits. So honestly, I think it's a C tier march. It's not bad. You know, like if you have it and it's awakened and you're using it, like I have it, you're totally good. Like you're fine. You can still use it. It's just not going to perform crazy like the new marches. Now, Tara, bro, okay, people are going to tweak out when they hear me say this. Tara's a B tier. Tara is a B tier. If you do not know what Tara does, guys, holy shit. Let me tell you. Tara gives everyone around you a 15% attack bonus for 5 seconds and damage resistance taken for 10 seconds. So a lot of you are looking at this and saying, how is this a B tier march? It's a support march at best. When you pair this with Moo, oh my goodness, your marches just pop off. Any march you have just farms. So the reason I'm doing Tara B tier is because using her with Moo is insane. And let's say you don't have a Moo, you're like, hey, I don't got Moo. Using her with Hosk is also fine. You do Hosk Tara or you do Moo Tara. Both are insane. I get better merits with Moo Tara than I do with my Synron Fragar. It is that insane. Try it out if you don't believe me. But overall, I think Tara... You know what? I'll say Tara's a C. I'll say Tara's a C, and I'll put Moo in B maybe. Tara is just better than Synron Fragar. Unironically, sounds crazy, but anything you put on Tara just pops off. For your entire 5 marches, it's insane. So that's why I'm putting her in C. She's maybe low B, but high C for sure. High C for sure, but low B. Next march, I'm gonna mix it up here a little bit actually. because we're kind of in this weird spot where we don't have any A's or B's right now. I'm gonna be honest. 𝗵𝗶 A tier. After their buff, they got a huge buff. If you guys want to see their buff, oh my goodness. Mostly Cibil. This skill right here. Normal attack damage bonus 200%. Disgusting. This March went from being a bust to being the third best. The second best actually before Kulk and Milra came out. It was the second best March. Because obviously 𝗏𝗏 was out, and then it was Cybalgrim, and then 𝗏𝗏. So let me tell you, the come up on this March is insane. Because when it first came out, this March was terrible. It was just like, you would not run this March. It was bad. You would not really invest into it. Like you would see some players like SB do Cibil Conara, but it wasn't like a crazy March at the time, you know, like it should have been. But now it's an amazing March. Cybalgrim, amazing. A tier March. I'm not putting in S tier, and I'll explain why later on. It's just the other Marches are so much better. Way better. Okay. Next March. Hosk. D tier. Hosk is really not that good. I'm going to be honest. You could literally do any other pairing on this list and get better results than a Hosk. I mean, Hosk is all right, I guess, if you're early game and you're a whale and you have them awakened, you know, for that crit rate bonus and all that. But like, if we're just talking like, listen, man, you want the best of the best, like Hosk is kind of mid. Like, it's not bad. Like, again, you could do Guan Hosk for the attack bonus. You could do Hosk Tara, but like, again, it's not worth spending $300 plus to awaken him, you know? He's not really... I would honestly put him in F tier if we're going off money value, but we're not going off money value. So for archers, he's a D tier. You know, I just wouldn't even touch him. Moving on. 𝗏𝗏, B tier. 𝗏𝗏's B tier. Reason I say B tier. Honestly, it's just your fourth best March now. You know, I can't sit here and tell you guys that this 𝗏𝗏 is a fucking A tier March when she's the fourth best archer March in the game now and not the first anymore. Like, if we're talking when she first came out and before Ruby, S tier value, the best March in the game, no doubt, buy it. But now that we're like, you know, in G6, they're B tier. And again, B tier's not bad. B tier is like, hey, this is a good March, but it's not the main March you should prioritize first, you know? So 𝗏𝗏, great March, heals a lot. I love it. If you end up getting this March, you're not wasting money at all, but it's not gonna be your best performing March. Just letting you know that right now. All right, moving on to our first S tier of the video. 𝗏𝗏. Oh my God, when this March came out, it was broken. And it still is, by the way. But holy shit, this March cooks. It's just broken. It's just I personally think for most players, still to this day, it is their best March. It is the best March. Now, obviously, with the new G6 years that came out, once you have those awakened, yeah, it'll do better than 𝗏𝗏. But for now, this is still the best March. So like if you're here like, hey, my 𝗏𝗏's like, they're both 5/5/5/5/5/1, just awaken them both. Just get them done out the way. You'll have the second best March in the game. It's amazing. I farm with this March. It's crazy. Hands down, my favorite March of all time. Moving on though. But yes, first S tier of the video. No debating that. If anyone says it's an A tier, they're stupid. Don't listen to them. Moving on. This girl. She's a B tier. I'll explain why she's a B tier and not an A tier. She's very niche in what she can do. For every season except for one season, she's only good on flyers. And that's kind of her issue, is you have to play Wildeburg with this hero if you're going to use her. You can't use her for ground archers unless if you're in a certain season that gets rid of the whole flying only buff that she has. Because her whole thing is basically, well, when I come here and show you, she relies heavily on flying legions. So if you're not running flying legions with her, it's useless, you know? That includes the pet. So that's why I say she's a B tier, because she's very like, niche in what she can do. And obviously, like, if you can do that niche and you're like, hey, it's my thing, she's A tier for sure. Run her with Cibil Thea, Cibil Ballhorn. Hey, even maybe the new flyer that was being talked about. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched the video yet, but I've heard good things about her. I mean, the guy, it's just another midget guy, whatever you want to call him. That might be a good pairing. The Cibil new hero, G6 hero. I'll put like a image in front of me to show you what I'm talking about. That might be a good pairing. But again, it's like, if you're just not running 𝗲𝗓𝗏, it's kind of useless, you know? It's like Cibil's not really the best pick. That's why I'm going to put her at B. But again, if you're running 𝗲𝗓𝗏, A. A for sure. Because 𝗲𝗓𝗏, flyers, Cibil, not Cibil, the elf girl and Thea, mops 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀. Mops 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀. They just differ. But for most players, it's like, you're not running 𝗲𝗓𝗏. I'm going to be honest. For archers, you're not. It's just that faction is very, very, very bad. And I can go in a whole nother video on why that faction's bad, but it's a bad faction. I run Spring Warden for a reason. Moving on though, Thea. C tier. Thea is just universal, you know. You can literally put Thea almost literally anything and that March will do all right, but it will never be the best. Besides for this very, very neat situation where you pair with a broken hero. You know, obviously Thea with the elf girl, racked. But without her, you know, it's eh. You know, Thea's all right. You know, if you have her, use her, she's fine. You get her free in the chest. So, not a bad pick, but not like the greatest pick. Now, obviously, if this was a calf tier list, completely different, bro. Like, Thea would be like A tier. But for archers, C tier. Ballhorn, same thing, C tier. He's just not a crazy March. I'm gonna be honest, it's the same like scenarios. Like, you're very trapped to only having to use him for flyers. Because if you use him for ground troops, he's trash. He's useless. Use him for flyers, you have to play 𝗲𝗓𝗏, and not everyone really likes the 𝗲𝗓𝗏 flyers because they're kind of like, they have worse stats and they're not really that good. Unless if you have broken marches like her, Awakened, or even like 515. But Ballhorn, he C tier. You know, nothing crazy. Moo though, Moo's a B tier. Moo's just great, bro. Like, it's not even funny how good Moo is. You can literally use Moo on every unit type in the game. Tanks, calves, archers, mages, works on everything. Literally. I use Moo Tara. It's insane. It outmerits my Synron Fragar. Great March. Put Heart of 𝗏𝗄𝗄 on her, bro. This March is never being the first March to die. It just is not happening. And it buffs the crap out of all your other marches. You're giving all your DPS archer marches 15% attack and 10% damage taken less for 5 seconds every 8 seconds, I believe. Let me fact check myself here, so I'm not spewing. Every 10 seconds, my bad. Every 10 seconds, not every seconds, but every 10 seconds you're getting a fat buff, bro. It's just a good March, like, I'm being honest. Yeah, solid March to have. Again, it's not better than these three for sure, no, but it is an amazing March if you're missing out on one of these. Like, for me, example, I don't have Cybalgrim, so I do 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀, 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀, Synfray, Moo Tara, and obviously the new G6 archers, which are also insane. All right, next, our final list here of this video. Kulk, Milra. Oh my god, they're great. Would I put them over 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀? Yes, but for most players right now, no, because obviously you're in the middle of developing them and not everyone has them awakened. But if you have them awakened, oh hell yeah, they're amazing, bro. Even though the pet kind of sucks, this March is just broken. It's amazing. At 51111, Kulk Milra outperforms 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀. A fully awakened 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 outperforms them. It's just an amazing March, I'm gonna be honest. It's great. Obviously here you can see 54311, here 5311. I'm turning Maeve into a archer player, so I am very happy. You look at my account, I am prioritizing her first because she's hard to get, and also, like, dude, her shit's insane. What's awesome about this March too, you don't have to get the 4th skill. for Milra. You don't. You can just 5-5-5, 1 her, you're done with her. Now just awaken Kulk, you have an insane march. It's similar to 𝗏𝗍, how they did it, to where the final skill is the rally or garrison skill. You just need these really, and you're good. Your march is good. So investment-wise as well, it's an S tier. It's just cheaper. You don't have to spend 320 plus heads to awaken her. You can just keep her 5-5-5, then awaken Kulk, and you're good. Your march is top tier. That's why I think they are #1. They're just amazing. With Ruby, Kalin, you do have to awaken them both, but with these two, you don't. You can just awaken Kulk and get Milra 5-5-5-1, and you're good. Last march of this video, 𝗏𝗂𝗃𝗃. C tier. They're all right. You know, I'm gonna definitely put them above these two. Hold on. They're all right. They're nothing crazy, but they're not bad. If you honestly have these any marches in C tier awakened, it's not a bad thing. You know, I might change this tier list a little bit. I'm gonna put Ballhorn in D. I really want to put Hosk in F tier. I really, really do want to put Hosk in F tier. Oh, because it's like, if this was a value tier list, I'm putting him in F tier. Just straight F tier. This is what it would look like if this was a value tier list. Like if I was telling you, hey, it's called Hosk worth spending $300. God no, he's terrible for archers. God no. It's just not worth the money to merit ratio you would get. Spending $300 on Kulk Milra is way more profitable than spending $300 on Hosk to awaken him. This is my tier list, and again, why I put 𝗏𝗂𝗃𝗃 here, it's just they kind of got power crept, you know, like all these marches in C tier below are just beyond power crept. Like they're like if you did a 1v1, if Kulk Milra did a 1v1 against any of these marches, they're getting Thanos snapped. They're just not good enough anymore, but they're not bad, you know. These are like, hey, I'm done with the top 3 marches. Let me focus on like some random marches, you know, for stamina. So this is my honest opinion, my honest tier list. What I think you should is the best archer wise. Kulk Milra, #1 S tier. Ruby Kalin, 2nd best. Cybalgrim, 3rd best. 𝗏𝗍, 4th best. And then after that, honestly, run whatever you would like. Personally, I run Tara, but again, people have different playstyles. Some people are going to be like, nah, I don't want a support march that buffs me. I want a DPS march. Great. Do Cybalgrim, 𝗏𝗂𝗃𝗃, whoever else you want. They're also just as good. But this is my opinion. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree with it, what you would change and what you wouldn't change, or if you just liked it. Because personally, this is what I have been using for 3 years of playing this game, where not using, but this is personally what I think after 3 years of playing this game. I like looking at the marches, kind of seeing what they do, what they're good at, what they're bad at. Archers are kind of weird. They're either broken or they're kind of average, you know. And right now, you got 2 really broken marches, a solid march, a decent march. Not decent, but 2 solid marches, I would say. 2 to 3. And then just the rest are average. That's my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think I'm wrong? Where would you place other heroes? But yeah, let me know. See ya.